Principal of Indravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Sitam, everybody. Welcome to our 21st and final session of Bhagwat Discourse. Tomorrow morning we concluded Gita part. We return the dirt that came through the Matikurna and all that to close off to Shanti Kari, everything as they say. As we get set now to enter a wonderful discourse dealing with Raja Parikshit, let's all stand as we begin with Arati. Put your hands together, everybody. Bow your head in reverence. Ladies, please cover your hair. Om Gajananam. Everybody. Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapeta Jambu
Alichara Bhakshritam
Umasudam Sho
Kavinashakharikam
Namami Viganeshwara
Arapankajam
Sarvamangalamangaliye
Shive Sarvatesarike
Sharanye
Trayambike Gauri
Narayani.
Namostute.
Think of your guru, your parents, if they've passed on. Remember them now. We've been talking a lot about these people. Kali Yuga, you start to get into wars and enmity with the same people that are there posted by God to give you the best advice, to save you. But when Kali Yuga is ruling, you start to find faults and enmity. Whether when mommy talk, daddy talk, guru talk, those words somehow never make sense. Dear God, forgive me if I made those mistakes. Bless me to improve. Guru the Brahma, Guru the Vishnu. Everybody.
Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma
Tasmai Shri
Guruve Namaha.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
One more time. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Sajam cha Vardi Sanyuktam Grahina Yojitam Mayam Deepam Grahana Devesham Trailokya Jimirapaham. Let's sing together. Jai Jai Bhagavata Bhagavan Ki
Arati Papiyon ko paap se hai Arati Jai Jai Bhagwan ki Arati Paap se hai Arati Hare Hare Krishna Hare Murari Hare Hare Krishna Hare Murari
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Murari
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Murari
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Murari.
Let's all join together as we do our Sumiran. For those of you joining us for the first time, Bhagwat Dharma is those principles, that term, those principles that have to be inculcated in a person so that you could see betterment. How you're going to see betterment? I'm going to wash away the sins that I have of my past, previous things that I have done that is now affecting the quality of my life. Ved Vyas, the author of the Bhagwat Puran, he says in Kali Yuga, people's lifespan, their attention span, their interest, it will be as if they don't have time, they have no interest in God. So we cannot use the Vedas in their original form and expect people to adhere or show interest in them. So he modifies the original Ved from one book into 4 books. And then from these 4 books, Bhagwat would come after as a text that has actors and descriptive, illustrative framework to guide a person towards the goodness and good things. The same principles in Ved given now, illustrated by this person who represents bad, this person who represents good, and there's a battle between the two. And when a person prays, a person shows the right attitude, the right formula is used, you can see success. Dear Lord, please accept the gratitude of myself as I stand shoulder to shoulder with people who are like-minded and interested in your glory. By your grace, I'm here again. May you permit me, even if I'm looking on at home, to have the blessing and the benefit of listening to your glory. Please help me to understand. Please help me to remember, and allow me to get the blessing of listening to your discourse. Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadhana Vadana Vadana Sumiro Madana Karana Kiralago Ganapati Kripanidhan Jnana Khani Ananda Bhavana Dev Mohi Vardhan Varno Vasha Bhagavata Jai Shivananda Kanda Bhutanata Bahubhaya Harana Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan Gauravadana Mangala Karana He Braja Chandra Mukunda Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana Katau Bhava Bhaya Bhanda Sharana Sharana Le Anakara Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Veda Veda Janata Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadhana Varana Varana
Sumiro Parambar Madana Kadana Gilalago
Prem Sabolo Vindravan Bihari Lala Ki Jai. Please have your seats, everybody. Those of you looking on online, Sitaram and welcome. In our previous session, but how is Baba shining so? Sitaram, everybody. Sitaram, I have to say Uncle Rohan, out of respect. Tonight we have different groups and different people from all over. Let me say Sitaram to everybody, to mention. In our previous session we did the katha that deals with how Krishna leaves the world. The arrow was made by his son, which is Lord Shiva incarnate. At one point when Lord Shiva gets married to Jamanti, the daughter of Jamwant from Rama and Sundarkan, when Jamwant tells Hanuman Baba, you have the inner power, you have the ability to jump this vast ocean. That same Jamwant in Ram Gita of Tulsidas, Jwala Prasad Ramayana, he says, Prabhu, where will you post me? And the next time you come in, I always wanted to test your strength, you know. I wanted to see if I am stronger or you are stronger. He says, okay, you wait on the earth. And when I come back in my next janam, in my next avatar, you'll get to test me. So said, so done. Long story short, he's ending up to fight Jamwan for 10 days. And they're fighting to and fro, equally matched. And when Vasudev had to do Navaratri Brat, you'll find that in Devi Bhagwat Mahatyam. As the prayers finish, as Vasudev finished the prayers, Krishna walks through the door. But he walks with a young girl and he says that after winning the battle with Jamwan, that Jamwan was very happy. A nice dialogue happens where the father is saying that the best gift that he could give in Dan is a good daughter. That if this daughter should go to her home and she has good training from her father's house, and she goes to the husband's house and she's able to establish good conduct, appropriate behavior, good training, more or less, that this would bring the most amount of punyam and reward to the father. So Jamwan says to Krishna, the only thing I have of value in this life is my daughter. Would you please accept her as your wife? And Krishna does do it. And he gets married to Jamanti, and Jamanti is the youngest of his wives. And she says that Rukmini and everybody else is having a son and everybody's happy. Most important, you are happy. I want to have a child too, but I want to have a child that has purpose, the ability to bring some great moment into fruition. Says, okay, no problem. And he goes and he starts to do research, job, tapasya, different type of dhan to get this child. So he goes to a Muni by the name of Upamanyu. Upamanyu could only teach one thing: the benefit, the joy, the rus of doing Shiv Puja. He tells him about his spiritual journey and what was possible due to the blessings of Lord Shiva. Krishna goes and he follows the instructions of this guru and he does open the beach of all the mantras to get the blessings of Lord Shiva. After time passed, Lord Shiva does appear. And when he did appear, he says, but Mahavishnu, you have incarnated upon the earth, but it is still you. You could have sent a message to me, you could have said something, and I would have had to follow your advice or your ruling. If it is a son you want, if it is a child, you just had to ask, meaning to say you didn't have to go through all this rigor. Krishna tells him what he says in Gita, what great people do. The examples that are set by parents, that is what children will remember and emulate. If I simply barked orders and says, I want this, I want that, I want the other, that would be a very poor example for children to grow into. Instead, let them see that I, although a king, although an emperor, having so much and so much accolades, that I would still drop my head at your holy feet. Shiv Baba, listening to his words and his humility, became overwhelmed. And he says, ask for what you want. Anything you want, I'll give it to you. He says, Baba, I wish to have a son with your energy, with your potency. I want this child to have great amount of purpose. That word purpose keeps coming over and over. He says, okay, he says, well, when you're upon the earth and you are doing your leela and you're acting, he says, I usually take a supporting role. Hanumanji, the incarnation of Lord Shiva, comes to support Sri Ram. Durvasa Rishi, Lord Shiva's another incarnation, he comes to support Krishna Bhagwan. When he was in different modes, even nursing Vaman, all these forms, Lord Shiva is always there on his side. Lord Shiva is always in meditation as he's looking on at the work of Lord Vishnu. He says, I am going to come myself. I will be your son. When you come as Krishna, when you are here as Krishna, and you need me, I'll be your son, Samba. Samba Sada Shiva. The one who comes as the son of Krishna, Samba. When this boy comes, we heard how horrible. Don't feel it was a well-behaved child. Lord Shiva incarnates in these forms to aid Mahavishnu in the return process, to cut off the Leela, to finish the story. And in this one, this was a son that thought he was more handsome than Krishna. He was very disrespectful to the ladies that were around Krishna. When we listen to the Narakasura discourse, where he saves these 16,000 girls and he's trying to save their dignity by allowing them to live freely but under his protection. Samba used to go and heckle them and belittle them and tell them all the world. And at one point, Krishna looks at him and he says, you feel you're too good looking. You have too much pride. Take a shrap that would cause damage to your skin. For the first time in our Hindu books came this thing called leprosy. Caused now from father to son. You feel you're too good. Live with this disease and everything that is given you, this false pride, let go. Narad Muni, and what I'm quoting is what is called the Samba Puran or Samba Upa Puran. Half a Puran, not full Puran. Samba is taught the art of doing Surya Puja. When you hear about how you put your hand with the elbow straight when you're offering the Surya Dar, the idea of facing east, the idea of getting up early and asking for the radiation to burn the skin when you have different psoriasis, different ailments. He learned everything from Narad Muni. And when it was done, he erects the first Surya temple as far as our records go. He gains the knowledge, and after a long time praying, his skin starts to go from open wounds that are leaking pus and blood and all the most gorish thing for this healthy young man to have. The skin starts to seal, still very dark, looks blue-black kind of color. And then as he continues his worship, his skin starts to clear off. When he got back the color, do you feel he learned his lesson? Keep testing people. Keep giving trouble and see what they will do. And this is where he went and he placed what we heard about, dressed up as a lady. Krishna is dealing with a crisis. He is seeing signs that impending doom and destruction is coming for Dwarka. He pulls a meeting with all the great munis, all the head of all the ashrams, to discuss what will happen in Kali Yuga. And when they opened the big doors and the munis were coming out, Samba dressed in sari, pillow on the belly, goes up to Vashish Muni and all the other munis to test him. If you are so great Muni, I've heard that you all have great drishti or vision. Could you watch my stomach and tell me if I'm having a boy or a girl? Vashish Muni, knowing what it was. So I could tell you. We're going to make a mortar and a pestle. And from that mortar and pestle, you're going to be the cause of the destruction of your entire family. When you open, you run. When you open off the clothes and get to where the pillow was, metal pestle, metal mortar. They run, they didn't go to tell Krishna. Shame now. Run to go and tell Ugrasen. This is what happened this thing was said, this pronouncement was made. What to do, grandfather? We just send it to the blacksmith. If we mash it up, if we make it into dust, powder, we cannot harm we then. So they grind it to powder, and we were told how he sprinkles it on the spawn, but the fish start to gobble it up. The reed, Iraq reed on the side of the pond start to suck up this metal. And the people who make weapons take that reed and they open the fish, they found metal, they made the ore into arrowheads. And the weapon that destroys Christian is now formed. This arrow is made by virtue of that sharp. Everybody else, me and you, could have probably take the arrow and we'd have survived with pain. But because they belong to the Yadhu family, it would be as if metal rods are shooting into their body. As the discourse went on, they emptied the city of Dwarka. And all the older ones, the women folk, the children are allowed to go to where Arjun is camped at the Prabhas Tirat. And all the men remain in Dwarka. But Balram had told Krishna, you have to destroy your family. Your family is out of control. And if you leave this earth with them, here, this entire avatar would be for nothing. Because they have become so false pride and abhiman and angry and without mercy. They are the scourge on the earth now. So the last thing you have to do is get rid of them. In Mahabharat, Gandhari, the wife of Dhritarashtra, the blind king from Gita, she says, oh Krishna, because of your lack of activity, all my 100 children are dead, my boys are gone. I curse you that you will live to see your entire family die. All your son, all your nephew, everybody's going to die. But Krishna took it because now it had to happen. And in Dwarka, they started to drink liquor. The same fellas, all these desperados stood up for war and fought together, shoulder to shoulder. Now, nephew fighting uncle, brothers fighting brother, son fighting father. And they rush, all of them turn to rush Krishna. And Balram starts to yell, Krishna, stand back, I will protect you. And he takes the plow and he starts to cut them down. And where it gets really bad is when they reach down for these special arrows. And they are trying to shoot each other. They're trying to shoot Krishna. They've made up their minds as if in a drunken stupor. Now remember what Parikshit did in the beginning of Bhagwat. He suppresses Kali Yuga and its influences into 4 places. And the behavior is being shown here. Wherever or whichever house has envy and jealousy, the gambler's house or the gamble den, the prostitute's house, and the place where alcohol is sold or drunk. These 4 places, he says, go and live there. And if you watch the 4, when the person gets carried away, when they get the enticement of the sweetness of these places, nothing could stop them. They don't have reason. You have $5 in your pocket. The choice is, will I gamble it or go and buy bread for the children? And that person, as if they are possessed with something, they cannot make a cognitive good decision. And in Hinduism, we're saying this is the influence, the effects of Kali Yuga. The last place, Kali Yuga begs, he says, I have a job to do, Give me one more place. And Raja Parikshit says, live in gold, the currency. The same gold he put in the crown, one day made him act inappropriate. Raja Parikshit insults his guru. And when Guruji's son gave him a shrap, he said, you take a dead snake and throw it around my father's neck. He said, don't worry, in 7 days' time, a snake is coming to bite you and you'll die. So now Raja Parikshit goes and begs the Guru, because the Guru felt sorry for him, understanding what was influencing the mind. He says, Guruji, you have to help me. I have sin. I have my share of past, meaning from previous birth, karma. And I want to be free of sin and punishment. He says, okay, we're going. My father wrote the book called Bhagwat Puran. And I'm going to use that book to wash this sin off your back. For 7 days, 3 times for the day, you'll bathe, you'll do different type of havan, and then you'll listen to the discourse, the glory of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu in different times, different forms as time is passing. And what it will do, it will give you the drishti, the vision, to see Krishna. It will cause your behavior to change. You will start to have compassion. You will start to be contented. If a person listens to Bhagavad, studies Krishna, one thing is that their behavior starts to calm down. Just like when Vaman says to Bali, if I ask you for 3-foot step, give me that. He says, but what will 3-foot step do? You can't build a house or any structure on that. I want to make you happy. Ask for more. He says, I could ask for more, but he says the first thing is, I have to be contented. When I am contented, when a person's appetite is met, then happiness will come. But if you try to give the person, think what I say. Me, I have contentment, but I take in petal. When I get more petal, I will get contented. That trap. Because you might be throwing flowers from now until, and you might never fill the person's belly. Text says, I'm asking for 3, but I might end up asking for 4, for 5, for 6. You might give me a whole island, so much land, and I would never be contented. If I don't have contentment, you could give me plenty money, little bit of money, and I would still be unsatisfied. Under that, the person will never know happiness. But if the person having yag, and the logic is, I want to give you something that will bring you happiness. Think about what's in it. When I give you happiness, I will get happiness. So you'd have an auntie living in Lal Bihari Trace. Let me just give you an idea. And she heard me talking to prayer and then by the table. Remember when we were small and we used to make chow? By my grandmother, I used to have plenty hog mango. Where you grew up with? Jolly mango? All right. And we talking like this. So I really say, see, when you was young, you could have eat pepper. Now you're getting old, you can't eat pepper. You can't eat all them vinegar and all kind of thing. So the lady doing she work here and she hear her laugh and I say, I miss eating bird pepper. That we grew up with plenty bird pepper, always growing somehow, it always there. This lady go on and find bird pepper, from way. I say, Baba, I come to give you a surprise. I'm not supposed to give you pepper, but I know this will make you happy. Krishna Arpanam. She said, between me and you, I don't go and tell nobody. But if somebody give you, if you think about what I say, if you don't have contentment, a person will give you the best food, they cook something nice, they give you a best t-shirt, they could give you what? They give you 50 feet of land in a typical lot. But you're studying how the neighbor come over by 5 inch. Nothing will satisfy you. No matter what children do, what the spouse do, what effort the person make to please you, you will never have it. You will never get enough. Imagine God give you, and you are contented with God give you too. How you going to be happy? Your whole life you going to be griping. And this is what happens with some people when they go to pray. You sit to pray. Yes, I pray in Baba. Look, I have plenty flag. I just go on T-Rat. Every time they go in a repo, I go in. Good. But when you go by the baby or wherever T-Rat, God, so this man, this bundy roti when he cooking. God, you give my husband, but you could not get a better one. Nothing God gave now good. My child is only get B. You go see my child passing. My child passed for junior sec. Not Queen's, how you call it? Queen's Royal College. One of them prestigious school. It's somehow, it never good enough. Nothing God give ever good enough. So the person is always in a kind of constant, give me, grab, give me, I want more. When the house and what Vaman said to Bali, when God give you, for example, the wood house, One day we're going to want to paint and fix and modify. And that is good. But I could be contented and happy just as is Woodhouse. While is Woodhouse, you give me shelter, thank you God. When it come concrete, thank you God. When you put in the fineries, the nice cupboard, the tile, whatever, thank you God. Work hard and advance yourself. Very good, no problem. But find joy and gratitude, contentment every step you make. And you will walk with God every time you walk. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Krishna lifted his foot off the earth. And when he did it, Kali Yuga starts to come in. Dwapara is officially finished. When the word is sent by Arjuna to Yudhishthira that Krishna is gone, that the message that Daruk, the charioteer of Lord Krishna, is that tell Arjuna, I am no longer going to be here, I am leaving. When Yudhishthira heard this, he says two things. He says, without that guide, I am not going to fare well. I can't be king. With him as my guide, I did so many crazy things. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be king without him. Then the second thing is, with Kali Yuga coming, the corruption, the fall of mankind, I don't want to be king anymore. So he takes the crown off his head and he elects this same Parikshit that you now lead Hastinapur. And this is where you hear they leave Hastinapur and they go Tirat, the northern mountain range of India, and eventually end up in heaven. They give up. When Devaki and Vasudeva hear that their son is gone, Balaram is gone, Kunti dies, and Devaki and Vasudeva give up the birth. To hear that they had died, to hear how they died, to hear that Krishna did not die in battle, but he dies secret in the bush, literally bush. Driving on the road, he stopped. And Daruk says, when I couldn't find him, the only thing I was smelling was the scent of tulsi flowers. And so I walked in and out of the grass until I found him with his four-handed form leaned against this huge peepal tree. And from by his foot, I saw an arrow and a lot of blood was coming out. And he tells me, my time on this earth is done. You go and tell Arjuna I am leaving. Whilst I was standing in front of him, the chariot we were now driving lifts off and goes into the heavenly region that his chariot could not stay on the earth. The Sudarshan Chakra leaves. Everything that belongs to him is going. And his foot is still wading and playing in the Yamuna. Yamuna was who he came to see in this last moment. The blood that was coming from his body, he couldn't touch the arrow, the adamantium steel, the sharp. He couldn't interfere with it. And the blood that was coming out, the peepal tree is pulling. And this is why, when till now, people go and they bow to that tree, they beg that tree for blessings. When you have a huge peepal tree and you have to cut it, is trouble. Because you have to know how to do Krishna Havan, Murari Havan to be exact, before you cut the branches of that tree. Because it is considered to be the power, the blood of Krishna. People tie strings, I'll show you a seat, tie strings around the tree. If you give me the child, if you give me the job, if you give me the marriage, I will come back and I will give thanks in the form of puja or sharing food or something. And you make your deal depending on the desire with that tree. But it is something that has a lot of relationship with Shani Dev, with Graha Puja. But the energy that is being worshipped or utilized, it comes from this discourse with Krishna. When all these things are happening, Parikshit is on the throne, Kali Yuga comes and we reach back now. The Yagna, the Bhagwat, that he sat and he listened to, now it's finished. Let's hear what happens as we enter. As he has completed this time, listening to the stories of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab.
Come on everybody, let's sing together.
Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Prishta Parakshatyena Marjayatam Buddhi Jalani Swami Daham Sa Vishnurataha Vishnuratam Jaya Bole Baba
तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
Jaya Bole Baba
तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय सांब
Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam
जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
Sukdev Goswami, the son of Vyas Muni, he says, "O Rajan, you are called Vishnu Ratha because whilst you were within the body of your mother, whilst within the womb when they killed Abhimanyu, your father, during the day in that Vir Chakra, in the Mahabharat war, the son of Arjuna is Abhimanyu, and they trap him and they kill this 17-year-old boy, robbing him of his life. His unborn son never got to see his father's face. Now, the perpetrator of this murder wanted to kill the unborn child too. And they come to hit the child within the womb, but Lord Vishnu stands to protect and holding the mukdar in a cross fashion way, protected from heat and lash. And for that reason, the baby sitting in the womb is called Vishnu Ratha, protected by Vishnu. He says, for your entire life, you were bounded to this form, and you always wanted to see him. Your life always put you close to him. You grew up knowing Uncle Krishna, who we call Lord Krishna. It was Uncle Krishna for him. He says, today, we've come to the end of all your discourses. Make preparation. Let's hear what Parikshit says. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Everybody.
Bole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
Siddhyo Asmi Krihato Atam Bhagwat Karuna Kripa Kripa Rajan. मैं हूँ साक्षी धाने न दानो हरिया हे आतम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम. Now this is a very short chapter. This is not a long, boorish chapter, but listen to what he says here. He says, Guruji, you talk about like if I'm something special. Because I grew up walking with Krishna, I am special. Show me a person that does not walk with God, and I will tell you that is special. What happens is the person does not realize that God is around them. God is dancing, God is testing, God is playing with them. But they are blind. But God is with everybody. How could you say I am special? What makes me special? Coming in this life, doing something stupid, getting in trouble, and having to find God to get the answer to come out of that trouble? Which person do end up in some predicament and have to find some divine help to get you out of what doctor, lawyer, nobody, the specialist, the psychologist, nobody can solve. But divine help could help me. He says, I am one of a million. Each person walks around with the company of the Lord like a shadow, plagued by problems. If we were all blessed and angelic, we would have been in Vaikunt with him. But we are sinful people that have heaps and mountains of karma on our backs, and we've come to pay for that karma. Some realize it, some don't. There are some people, based on our discussion, still feel it's my body, it's my house, it's my land, it's my goal. And when you're going, carry everything. Puran Sahita Meta Shravan Ye Bhavati Vamaneyati Kalla Ye Ham Lokotam Bhagavan Nugra Guru Ye Yati Jaya Bole Baba
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
Jaya Bole Baba
तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva
तब शरणम जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
He says, I acted inappropriately. Bhagwat Gita, we'll hear about this in the morning. Bhagwat Gita, Lord Krishna is telling Arjun, listen, it had two type of people, divine and demonic. Divine people is act this way. Demonic people is act this way. He says, I acted from a demonic disposition. I acted out of ignorance. I did not care about the feelings of other people. I did not study how my guru would react. If he had good, what would happen next? I just wanted to do. He says, from that moment of ignorance, I have sat here and I have listened to this same Bhagwat. And I have listened to all the exalted stories, kathas, kahanis of Lord Vishnu, all the teachings, all the dharma that this Bhagwat is teaching. I have listened to you. And you know what? What is the end point? I came here fully afraid of death. I came here fearing a snake was going to bite me. I was afraid that something bad going to happen. And I wanted to get out. And now I realize that there is no need of fear. That is Lord Vishnu's hand. He's using Taksha to get me, but it is time for me to come home. Adok Saja is the name of Lord Vishnu, where he ends your cycle. Get the spouse, get the children. Lose the spouse, lose the children. Get the spouse, get the children. And for the rest of your life, like what Ganesh teaches, your time, your peace of mind, your money is always, oh God. The children have trouble, Pandit. How I go sleep? Them in problems, how I go sleep? It's no longer about you. You suffer. When life gives you, when you're young and life starts to give you, and you get everything good, you're collecting. But he says the same life starts to take it back. And when you start to lose, that is when you start to cry. One easy example, you want a house, you get a house, big house. One day you'll have to paint that house and the same house becomes a burden. One day you'll have a step and you say, wow, look at how high my house is. My house is higher than my neighbor's house. I shadow over my house, my neighbor's house. Good. And then one day you're going to realize to climb that step is real trouble. Why I didn't build this house flat, boy? Can't make that step anymore. I go sleep downstairs now like a servant. Like a nobody. I go hide in the downstairs room. Get the children upstairs. I don't want it anymore. That same house, I don't want it anymore. That dog, to feed that dog, I can't make with that dog. That dog will jump at me. That's a responsibility I don't want. I don't want that to everything that you have. I don't want it. When you start to wear the ring, you wanted the gold. Oh God, my husband will buy me a piece of gold every day walking and I don't see money. Why don't buy me a piece of jewel? Good, you buy it and bandit come for you. You'll take it like a rat and hide it in a hole safely. I guess you tell yourself I have gold. It becomes so precious. Hide it from everybody. And all Parikshit is saying, after a while, you yourself, they say, me a bong for that. Those days of vanity and show, me I need it. I realize I good looking without the gold. If gold is something to decorate what God give you, and then you realize I am good enough, and you get very calm, and you get very comfortable with yourself. Remember, everything we just be doing is to make you, the ugly you, look somehow more appealing. But when age come and you realize what life is, where you going through all of that for? I am who I am. And you get very comfortable. That time, you don't cut your wrist because God, they make me pretty. Then you realize if you walk through the ward, the diabetic ward, and you see toes start to miss, fingers start to miss, hand and foot start to miss, then you count the blessing that maybe me are that good looking, but I have a 10-toe, thank you Lord. A different sense of gratitude, a different way, a different maturity is possible. He says, that's all I have. I have become less ignorant. I have seen the light. And now I have control of speech, control of senses. I am not what we were talking about in Kali Yuga. The older man wants to act like the young boy. What the young boy is supposed to do, the boy who is married, the boy who sees the pretty girl and goes to coax and learn how to talk to a woman with respect. The old boy wants to go back and live those macho man days. And he's running down that and gets himself in trouble. He embarrasses his children. You know, on TikTok, how did they say, somebody come and get their uncle? Oh, what, you want to laugh in hand, will you? He says, no, with this age, I want to act appropriate. I want to act with my age, my family in mind, to be gracious. You have been gracious to me, and without fear, without any type of censure, you have given me just what God wants me to hear. You have become this vessel that is transmitting the message of God. And God gave me the blessing that I was able to tune in and listen. God is always sending message. Durga Mata says, I will sit on your eyelid and I will tell you when to blink. She sits in the body when them put it doing funeral, and there's 1, 2, 3, they put on the box. The third stop is Durga. The element of fire, mother come out of the body. So one day Shivan say, what fire are you talking about, Pandit? Which part did have fire in somebody's body? Devi Bhagwat, she says, inside your body I will stand with you and I'll guide your child. Because in this life you wouldn't know what is appropriate. So as fire in your stomach, when you're hungry, how you just know you're hungry? It's your body. It's my life. It's my time. But something choking you. You're hungry. You look like a hungry boy. How you just know toilet time? Wow. Number 1, number 2. Don't get that signal. You're going to have a problem. You get a different sensation. Move. Tonight when we finish, I want to go and watch my TV, my TV show. And something will start to burn. Next thing, TV watching me. Go and sleep. Go and sleep. The mother says, I will guide you. I will tell you what to do. On the funeral day, you're admitting that we really don't be in control. It's not to say you're telling your heart, okay, it's my heart. Beat heart. Come on. Let me go again. Come on. Come on, breath. Let me breathe. I fall asleep. Somebody running the machine. And for 65 years, 75 years, the child get a parent. Dear Lord, in these 5 forms, the same 5 form you just put it on your jandi. When the Pandit put the 5 tikka, the 5 element, Ganesh, Durga, Shiva, Vishnu, Surya, stand up here. In the funeral, come out from here. Thank you for all that you have given to me. Because of the knowledge, like what is happening with Durga in my body. Where does God live? God lives right here. God is with me at all times. He says, I realize that I have now this realization, this knowledge, that I know where to find my God. My God is with me. And that realization is making me no longer anxious, no more short breath. I know somebody said in 7 days my life is going to end. Let it end. The journey of my soul will continue. I will find my Mahavishnu. I will finally find the fella that was in the womb with me. Iti yukta samayukta yati Padya Bhagavan Vishnu Ratha Jana Buddhi Makhanna Dev Pujana Vidhi Bhagwat Dharam Bole Baba Tab Sharanam
Bole Baba Tab Sharanam
Bole Baba
Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam.
He says, oh Guruji, the only thing I have to do, I have to give you a gift for giving me this knowledge. Some token, some dakshina. Parikshit got up and he took out food for his guru. He served him and leaves that place. All the munis, everybody who had come, one person came to listen to Bhagwat. But that one person transformed into many people because of the karma It drags. Remember this. Whether you're doing Bhagwat with me or some other pundit, when you go to Bhagwat, you have to be very careful compared to the other types of Yagna, because they are not doing it for the full duration. It's Kali Yuga. What is the correct way to do Ramayana Yagna? According to Tulsidas Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, 9 days. You are supposed to reach a certain amount of Chaupai and Doha. It is not supposed to be the pundit's opinion, but is the content of the text, the words of God. When listened to, washes away the karma of the person. But if you are reading the book, and we talking about how Rishi does make good alupai, and Tanti does make good dumpling, and tidy discourse we come to hear. Well, boy, you're really in Kali Yuga. Take where you get with that. When you make the decision that will wash down what is God guided, do it this way, you'll get the outcome you're looking. And we start to make it convenient. Bhagavad Gita said, have prayers, you know. Everybody just pray. Some people is pray Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Tamasic is when you're doing prayers for convenience. I'll do it so to make it fit everybody. Pundit, everybody will come out Sunday. They will come out Wednesday. For example, when you start to do it, yes, you're in the temple, yes, you dress the part, yes, you're doing the prayers, but you're not following the scripture, you're not following the tenets of your book, your guide, the true Dharma. You might be doing the prayers, you might be spending the money, you might be spending a lot of your time, but you may be realizing soon that nothing is changing. Tamasic prayer, Rajasic prayer, I'm doing the prayer. I only want people to know I'm doing the prayer. I'm only doing it for show. When I reach by that bed, I have no concept between me and my God. But that time, Pundit come, say a mantra quick. Come. Finish the prayers quick. I'm tired, I'm sleepy. All the politicians, everybody come and they don't see and they don't bless me, and them is the one who blessed me. When they don't kiss me and tell me you're doing well, boy, you well do. Me I need God help again. I don't get all the help I need. Rajasic type of prayer. You go do the prayer, you go put up the flag. You'll get the parsad. You'll get fat too. You'll eat the plenty parsad. You see what I have? You'll get it. But you wouldn't get the help. You wouldn't get the change. Sattvic prayer, Yagya means sacrifice. Start with that. Understand that you are getting into something to milk the sin out of you. If you understand why you have bald head, you have one eye giving you trouble, ears are walking, throat it good, I can't talk, I tight tongue, the teeth uneven, look at your body, girl, and say, if Lord Vishnu make you perfect, if you are made, as other religion profess, you're made in God's image, well then you're supposed to have perfection, no sickness, no trouble, no stress, no problem. But if you watch yourself head to toe, you're riddled with issues. God Puran tell you, I put a little signal, God is talking, I make you imperfect. To say, listen, you know why your eye are working? Maybe in your last life, you say you see, but you didn't see, you lie. All right, in your next life, this ego work. You like to gossip, in your next life, this ego work. You like to listen to gossip, like all you just wake up to hear. Nothing else. You don't have time to go in the prayers. When them pundits singing the Hanuman Chalisa on the radio and they're trying their best to help you, me I like that. Anything with jumping up on naked, I love that. Shivratri coming, me I like to wake up. Juve, wow. Can't wait. Your priorities causes damning effects in your life. But is if you can see it. Bhagwat is giving you the drishti. Watch it good. Watch what is causing you trouble. Parikshit leaves the Guru. After feeding him, what Gita say? When does your prayer finish? When you feed your guests. When you take out the food and you get to be the servant. And you get the person to say, wow, your food really tastes nice. You well take out food for me, boy. You do it so nice, I have to eat. God, you see that fella, bless it. You see that benefit that way. Parikshit goes on the bank of the Ganga, kush grass under his seat as he's facing north. The kush grass, we talk about that, the kushi that Varaha brought to Mother Earth. This grass where the base is Brahma, the middle part Shiva, the tip Lord Vishnu. He says, when I sit here, when I put it on the ring, I'll be protected and guarded and guided from the Yamdut. No negative. In the Bhagwat, souls of people who commit suicide tend to visit. You will hear people say, I swear I hear you call me. You know. I see something last night, I get frightened, I dreaming, I smelling different thing. Why? Because here in the Yagna, different, if done properly, different people could get blessing. Everybody want help, everybody want parsat. But souls that are unrested, they want help too. So they come around. So the person has to wear the ring with the kush grass. Now you understand why you put on a chandan. Why you put on the string on your hand. Bali is saying, protect me. The first person that tied that string, the dwarf had to tie it on Raja Bali. Parikshit sits at the bank. Now without doubt, without fear, he's calling on Lord Vishnu. He's chanting the name. Om Namo Bhagwate Vasudevaya, the 12-syllable mantra. He says of all the names of Lord Vishnu, the Krishna name burns away most sins, the ashes, janam after janam. I will wait for his bidding. And when time is passing and that moment came, Daksha came and bit Parikshit. Verse 12, for that person that asked me the question, there is no payment of money, there is no gift that could take away the moment that you have to go and meet your God. What you could do those good deeds. A person could be a pauper, a person could be very wealthy. But the only currency that is of any reward, of any merit in the house of Yamraj is your good and bad deed. The money, the land, the title, the children, the pride you have in them has no benefit. Only if you do good, only if you do bad for the opposite, then you are going to weigh yourself, good person, bad person. Instantaneously upon taking in that amount of poison, Parikshit's soul jumps and goes straight to Vaikuntha, joining with Mahavishnu, never to return. Let's hear what happens in this last verse. Everybody put your hand together. Say a little prayer. Say a prayer. Don't worry the clap, don't worry the clap, don't worry the clap. Pray, pray. Deva Devishu Mayatam Nai Durga Nandaye Prashchit Guna Guna Vaibhava Mukti Dhyan Jivana Mukta Parikshit Prat Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya 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 Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. If I could listen to the katha of Parikshit, that a person who becomes lost, stumbles in this life, could still find the forgiveness of Krishna, still find the mukti, become Jivan Mukh. Jivan Mukh is when a person is still alive, but their soul is already predestined. That ticket is booked. They are going to Vaikuntha, never to come back. Blessed is the person who listens to the discourse or discourses of Bhagwat, listens to the journey of Parikshit and his final beatitude, the final point where he goes and he finds Lord Vishnu. Be so blessed, the worst sinner, may they be so blessed that they find that happiness and mukti by simply listening to his katha. When I sing in this part, there's a reason why we sing in Jai Bole Baba. Some people like to argue, Lord Shiva better, Lord Vishnu better. But understand that when all this discourse and all this action playing, the one person who is very focused in all the story, who is watching and is full in his heart, his eyes, he does not want to study Parvati Mata, he does not want to study Shiv Baba, he does not want to distract from any of it, is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva celebrates the most when Lord Vishnu is playing his Leela. Always remember that. If you think you understand Hanuman and Sri Ram, you understand in that moment Lord Shiva and Sri Ram. For a second, just put your hand together and just pray for yourself. I'm going to sing one little chorus. You just talk to your God. Dear God, thank you for allowing me to listen to your discourse. Whatever I learn, it depends on my karma. Pandit is not giving his opinion. Pandit is reading word for word from the book. depending on the karma of the individual as a Sanatanist, you blossom, you grow, you interpret as you will, and then apply it. Don't just take it here and drop it. God, give me the ability to change. Bless me to apply this into my life, into my marriage, into my children. Bless in my home for us to pray better. Bless us to have that type of guided relationship with God. You pray. Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jaya 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 Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam. Together everybody, Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. This brings us to the end of our Bhagwat discourse with the upliftment and the mukti given to Parikshit. Trouble as life continues, time is flying. Jan Vijay gets very angry. Jan Vijay is the eldest son of Parikshit. He has 4 sons. Jan Vijay wants now the snake bite my father, the snake bite, and he starts to kill all the snake. And when he's told stop that, the Guru says, I think you should take the time to pray for your father. Don't go and cause more sin. When after Bhagwat is done and you hear about Devi Bhagwat Puran, Jan Vijay has to go and atone for all the sin he killed. So he sits down and then he listens to the propagation of Devi's worship in Devi Bhagwat Puran. From a chronological order, Bhagwat came first and then Devi Bhagwat came after. Sri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. So in the morning, well, they're going to do Hawa now. Perhaps we could do Purnahuti together. Right? Just this evening, because we're going to have people that may not be here in the morning. In the morning, 6 o'clock, we're having puja. 8 o'clock, that will finish. We're going to start with Gita reading. In the morning, we're doing the Mahatyam. Many people don't know about that. The Mahatyam is when the earth is asking Krishna where you're going, why you're leaving. And he says, I left this divine song, this Bhagavad Gita, upon the earth. If the person read it, this is what will happen. If they read 1 verse, 3 verse, 5 verse, and have a lot of secrets in that. When somebody say, keep a Gita in your car, in your office, in your purse, tomorrow you're going to understand why. If used properly, you get a lot of help with it. Tonight I have somebody I met in Karatal by a troublesome old boy named Spidey. Uncle Spidey. In the Karatal, if I remember correct, Karatal Krishna Mandir. Pandit Shivan, please come and give your blessings. And I see a color code the people. All it is real put effort, boy. God bless all you. But that Karatal Mandir made, if I remember correctly, best fried karaili. Them ladies, them put a lot of effort. God bless them still. Come, Baba. Let him come on stage.
Buddha Surumapati Mahadeva ki Jai. Jai Sitaram.
Jai Sitaram.
I believe we could say it a little louder. Waiting, Panditji. Jai Sitaram. Sitaram. My dear friends, devotees and bhaktas, officiating Panditji, Pandit Keshava, other Pandits joining with us this evening in devotion, members of the Kirtan group. This evening is a great blessing to join in Pravachan, of course, in Katha and in Bhagwat Yagna. I can't remember the last time I actually attended a Yagna, and I didn't for one moment think I would have really been here this evening. Today is actually the only evening that I'm free, so I decided that only yesterday I messaged Panditji and I told him, well, okay, we'll be here tomorrow night. I guess everything happens by the grace and the blessings of Bhagwan. And we make plans, but Bhagwan has the final say. And I think Bhagwan's plan was to be here this evening and to join in this wonderful katha and to be part of this wonderful yajna. One thing that Panditji talked about, and it really touched and it actually stand out, and not only in Katha but with him, was seva. And one thing I admire with Panditji for the number of years I know him is seva. He's one of the Pandits who will stand for seva and always doing and trying his best to give where he could, assist where is necessary, and be that shoulder that someone could lean on when they have a problem. And I believe that his theory, in my eyes, is not do what I say, but do what I do, which is seva. And this evening, I would like everyone to give Panditji a lusty round of applause for the wonderful job that he continues to do to promote Sanatan Dharma throughout. And of course, that is something really, really commendable. This evening also, as Panditji spoke and narrated to us from the Bhagwat, one of the key things that I believe, and Panditji spoke about this evening, and I believe that we all need in our lives, is honesty. Even when we go before Bhagwan to pray, we all need to be honest. Because honesty is the best policy. So this evening, I will leave you out with a little kahani that will always remind you that honesty is the best policy. There once lived a woodcutter, and this woodcutter was very poor. So he had an old rusty axe, and he used to cut down trees for a living. So one day he went by this river and he was cutting down a tree. So the axe slipped out his hand and it fell in the river. So this woodcutter couldn't swim like myself. So he fell on the ground, and as Panditji always teaches us, when you have a problem, turn to who?
God.
Bhagwan. So he started crying. So Bhagwan appeared from the river. He said, "Bait, why are you crying?" He said, "Prabhu, I'm only axe fall in the river. That is my livelihood." So Bhagwan went in the river and he brought a golden axe. He said, "Bait, this is your axe?" He said, "No." What you would have say? Are you afraid to say? So Bhagwan gone back in the river and he brought a silver axe. He said, "Beta, this is yours?" He said, "No, Prabhu." So Bhagwan was amazed to know he still have honest people, because we don't take the gold axe and gone home. So Bhagwan gone back in the river and he bring the old rusty axe. He said, "Beta, this is yours?" He said, "Yes, Prabhu." So Bhagwan was so happy. So he gone back in the river and he come out and he said, "Bait, for your honesty, take the gold axe, the silver axe, and the rusty axe." So the woodcutter was very happy, so he returned home to his dulahin. How many men here married? Everybody bachelor? Oh, Jai Bhagwan. So you would know, when you reach home with something extra, what the dulahin does ask you? Where, when, how, what, and oh, you're well, no good. Why? So the dulahin wanted to know where you get this gold axe and this silver axe. So he said, "Bhagwan appeared from the river and he gave me these two axes." So the dulahin want to see the river where Bhagwan come in. So while he carrying the dulahin across the river, she slipped. Long time you had two bamboo to cross the river. She slipped and she fall inside the river. But remember, this man can't swim. Are you listening? So he fall in the ground again and he start to cry. Bhagwan come. He said, "Beta, why are you crying?" He said, "Prabhu, my wife fall in the river now." So Bhagwan go in the river and he bring Pretty Zinta. He said, "Bait, that is your wife?" He said, "Yes, Prabhu." Bhagwan was amazed. He said, "But I thought you was an honest fella." He said, "Prabhu, if I tell you no, you will go and bring Kajal come. And when I tell you that is not my wife, then you will go and bring my wife come. And when I tell you, yes, that is my wife, then you will say, Bait, for your honesty, take all three of them." But Prabhu, I is a poor man, I could only mind one wife. So honesty is the best
Policy.
So when you all go home tonight, remember, honesty is the best policy. Jai Sitaram.
Ah, boy. If I remember correct, in those days, Baba didn't marry yet, no babies. And there was this young boy, and so he liked to laugh. And he had the group, when we go on to read, I's the odd one, I only sing Asama. Me, I know what they're talking about, but he and all of them in the group only laughing, kick. And Spidey quarreling, all interfering with my prayers. God bless you, Baba. I don't know when it happened, but wow. God bless you to keep going and get stronger and reach. I don't know how you're still on the radio. I don't know how you just do that morning drive. But then it's too now. God bless you, and God bless your family to do all of this, to push in Dharma, as you say. Because me getting up 4:30 in the morning to make that. But everybody, God bless you, Baba. Keep it up, keep it up. Tonight, let me ask Pandit Amita Harbachan to give me his blessing. And then we'll do Pandit Devchan, Baba. To get these guys together takes a lot of planning. Earlier we had Pandit Latsmidat and Pandit Dudnath, and in the course of the Yaga, a lot of people.
Principal Stephen Draban, we had Raliki.
Jai.
So let's all clasp our hands as we join in prayer. To seek the blessings of Sri Krishna Bhagwan. Hari Om Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Harim Shridaram Madhavam Gopika Ballabam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadevam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika Radhitam Indiramandiram Chitra Sasundaram Devaki Nandanam Nandajam Samdari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Wanaji, it has been a great honor. Blessings been with you for the past couple nights. Hopefully in the morning I'll be here as well. And hope to see you much more in the future. Prem Sri Vindraban Bharali ki
Jai. Panditji, come bless your people now, boy. When you go to Yagna, please remember this. The Baba who sits on this side of the Bedi, where Pandit Sunil is sitting, the Ritwik, when you get the chance to wash the foot, wash the foot. Remember, you come to prayers to get blessing. Yes, we talk, yes, we give them mala, all that is good. But it's only when you wash the person's foot who chants Gayatri, do you get the additional blessing. The person who sits on that side of the Bedi, the Hotri, his job is Havan, mantras. He is the one who is protecting the Yagyashala. The Baba on the side doing the prayers, the Devata to get food, etc. But that guy is calling on nursing, Devi, he's charging the place. When I walk into the Yagyashala, I must feel different. When I leave, when you're breaking this come Monday, and all the decoration and everything had to happen. Tomorrow in the morning, they're going to carry back Mother Earth. So we do puja and all that. We will read very quickly from 8 to 10, we're done. 10 o'clock, they will lift the mud from the Bedi, the Chowsat, and you will see, they will crack the little tassa, them churning in the temple at the tassa side now. And the carrying she back, Mother, we prayers finished, we get through, thank you, simple language. To close off. But it must be done after that energy is shantied tomorrow. Pandit Devchana, let me hear from you now, Baba, for the benefit of everybody. Give me a blessing, Baba.
Principal Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai.
Jai.
Sitaram devotees. Sitaram to our colleague and brother Pandits. Tonight again, once more, beautiful Katha Baba. You know, listening and taking the message tonight. It tells you that life is boisterous like the ocean. Sometimes very, very peaceful. And sometimes like the wave. It says, as we live our life on a day-to-day basis, always keeping that form of God, Bhagwan, within our heart. That's our most important part in life. Nothing more is important. Trust what I'm saying. Once you have that presence of Bhagwan within you, there is nothing you need, my devotees. For whatever desire, for whatever satisfaction, or whatever happiness you think you need, Bhagwan will give to you. Don't worry about if I pray and ask for something and it didn't come true. And you know what he say sometimes? Baba, I prayed to that sleeping God. I prayed to him and he didn't give me what I want. You know, and you say that, right? Say yes, Baba.
Yes, Baba.
Yes, because it's true. When they pray for something and didn't get it, they say, I'm praying to our sleeping God. We want to go elsewhere and we'll get it. Let me tell you all something tonight. If you didn't find God in your yard, you can't find him in mine, eh? Fair enough? If you did not find God in your yard, you can't come by Baba Keshava and find it in the mandir. You can't come by my home and find God, because if you didn't find him where you was, you can't find him nowhere else. So always find God where you are first. Realize God and make God your best friend. And that's all we got to do, nothing more, my devotees. And after listening to beautiful Katha and doing our devotion, what more could we ask from this world? What more could we ask for, my devotees? So let us all pray a little bit as we Hari Om Shantakaram Bhujagashainam Paramanabam Suresham Vishwadharam Gagan Sardrisham Meghavaranam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanainam Yogi Vidyanigamyam Vande Vishnu Bhave Haranam Sarvalok Ekanatham Sarvalok Ekanatham Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramartam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru O Namo Vijnana Rupaya Paramananda Rupini Shri Krishna Gopinataya Govindaya Namo Namaha Shiva Hari Shiva Rama Saki Prabhu Tridivitap Nivadanahi Vibho Ajajaneshwara Yadav Pahima Ratirinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Ratirinam Kushalam Jai Mangalam Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. And now the main man is Pandit Cyril. Pandit Ji, please come and give our shrotas and all looking on your blessing. I'm not going to bother Pandit Varun, his son. I won't do him that. Pandit Varun, he has two sons, Pandit Varun and Pandit Satyam. So Pandit Satyam couldn't be with us as often because of school. But whenever he came, he brought his mom. And Pandit Varun played drum and he sang very bravely, Mommy. Sing. When he closed his eye and he started to sing, and I was chorusing. I stopped chorusing halfway. And he do it, he really did it. He maintained the Hawan and was a good boy. Did well. God bless you and bless your sons and them. Keep it up. Babaji.
प्रेम से बोलो श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय
Jai.
Pandit ji, it was indeed a pleasure to be here. I know it was a difficult task. The last time I did a puja and a Bhagwat, I told myself, I'm going through that again. But one day Pandit ji called me and says, I want to have a Bhagwat in July. I didn't reply to him really much, and I left it there. One day I was in my swing and I was swinging and I was trying to remember. If he did ask me to do a puja, I said, I'm not going to call him, I'm going to message him. And I really did message him, and then he called. I didn't answer the phone. And then he called her.
Yeah, line, you know, he really did.
And then Pandit ji, I did call, and he said, yes, it is on certain dates. So now I said, you know what, I'm going to the pharmacy and get some vitamins and get myself prepared for this task. And here it have come to an end. But one thing, Pandit ji, on the 24th to the 28th of August, I'll be doing for the first time a Bhagwat Mahapuran by myself in the Rameshwar Mandir in Tiblan. And I use this opportunity to learn from you. You might understand, but I was seated there, I was listening to your kathas. I was recording it in my mind, but you did a great job.
Thank you, Baba.
So I learned a lot. So when I start mine, I'm glad if you'll be there. Okay?
Give you my commitment, I'll come.
Indeed, it was a pleasure to be here, no matter what. I came as well to the puja because I showed myself that when I come here, everything is prepared. When I come here in the morning, the only thing I have to do is just sit and start puja. The now and whoever they are, they wash their hands of the shoulders. Because the amount of shoulders that I have here, sometimes I don't check. Okay, so when I reach here, if I have to wash all those hands.
The prayers will not do in time.
Yes. So Panditji, thank you for the opportunity. We had learned a lot, had understand a lot. And we learned one thing. Never disrespect a guru. Never disturb someone when they are praying. Raja Parikshit had disturbed the saint, the Holy One, and he paid the price.
True.
And the strap was there that he had to die, as I said tonight, by the hands of the snake, and he really died.
True.
So, never disrespect a guru. When you disrespect a guru, Lord Shiva is vexed with you, okay? So let's all put our hands together. I chant one mantra to Lord Krishna. Continue to bless us in this right pathway, Lord of Dharma. I thank you for the opportunity to listen to your praises, to be where your praises are, and to glorify your wonderful name as Lord Krishna. Hari Om. Om Vasudeva Sutam Deva Kamsa Chanurmadaram Devaki Paramanandama Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai.
Thank you, Baba. Tonight, as we are wrapping up, and I'm mindful of my time, I just want to, I'm not going to say thank you, I understand what I'm saying. God bless you, is what I prefer to say. In the temple here, I just really try to use the temple and the time to train these children. If the parents learn, well, that is good too. But my focus is the children. So for example, we plan the menu long in advance. How much? Found recipe. They batch out everything, flour, this, that, and the parsad was different. You ever eat parsad with 5 fingers? Pineapple, fig, they crush steel cut oats and Quaker oats and all this kind of thing, and cooked it in one. Not to say, understand what I'm saying, it's not parsad and fruits on top in the bag. When they patch in the flour, 5 fingers and different things, different nuts, different things was being used in it. For this jug, I believe we only cooked curry once. Truthfully, today alone, Security didn't want to come out today because we didn't give them chana and aloo for the whole jag. The children studied how to make biryani and matar paneer and Manchurian, how you call it? Bolakok, Norat and Kurman, all them kind of thing. And they learn how to do it. And they learn how to cook, work together, work as a team, just as you watch the lab and you follow the steps and you learn how to follow instruction and work as a team. Don't melt down, get it done. You have a time. And they did it. Dress code, learning to take lead. Honest to God, they had a little walkie-talkie one day here talking to security in the ground. One man in the kitchen, one man in the baby, and in different ways they lead. What pundits saying, they're no joke. If they fix for you, they'll put some pundits to shame, you know. Truthful. If one of these children, young children, have to fix for your wedding, have to fix for your funeral, whatsoever, the pundit who come, oh, it's all here. Because they will tell the pundit what to do. If you take your children and your grandchildren and you give them the type of training so that when they have to do, they could function. Truthfully, if they learn how to knock a drum, look Uncle Rohan with me tonight and family, right? Well, I know these children when I was very small. Years ago, I met Uncle Rohan with his voice, singing with Shivanan. When we had brought, I believe, Sononigam, one of them. He was always singing with the school. But I remember when we had brought Sononigam to Trinidad, and Uncle Rohan was there. He was involved in the program. And I always like how he does sing. So we tell him to come and sing it. We thank you very much, everybody. God bless all you. If you take the time to train your children in today's world, they get an opportunity to provide a service. You can't get a job, don't worry, I go play a drum. I go take care and help people in terms of cooking food. I go help people in terms of preparing the baby. And people will be so gracious and grateful that these sidelines could help them. Gone are the days when people don't pay them. But these young children today, born and grow on every stage, carry a dharma throughout the world. In other parts of the world, they don't have it good like what we have here in Trinidad. In some parts of the world, our dharma is still second grade and second class. But in our country, for the older people here, all they could tell we about how people used to look at Sada Roti with shame and scorn. Now, Mr. Sada Roti, you're glad if you get it. You're glad if she could cook it. It's a commodity now. Everybody opens business selling Sada Roti, and they're happy to get it. All finished? Oh God, I'll check you back tomorrow. And now that same thing that was shame, let me say 30 years, 40 years ago, that same thing is pride. If parents make the effort and you don't waste time, you don't have time to waste, children will grow up and they will only emulate what you make important. Only what you do. These children here, whatever you see, trust me, I did very little. These children did everything. If I say thank you, it will take away from their blessing. God bless them. God keep them and preserve them and give them the finance, the life. They are at a point where they are saving. They have their desires, they have their goals. Excuse. And you want them to be encouraged so that they will continue to do it, so that the day you want a now, it have a now. The day you want a singer, it have a singer. But if we only say only when you are an engineer or you have the big job, that is the good thing, then you're going to find that certain parts of your dharma has gaps missing. Nobody know how to cook roti, nobody know how to fix fire prayers. They have no idea why did they sleep for a baby. Doesn't make sense, then your dharma is going to fall apart. Everybody has a role and all is important. Principle of Bindravan, Biharilala. I personally am very happy. I am very proud with the way they handled themselves. Did anybody get insulted while coming? Did anybody feel belittled? Did anybody get any bad treatment? Forget me, my mouth a little hot. I bad. But these children, these leaders and them, if you notice, it was good evening, good night, hi, you want food to go? Could I pack something for you? It wasn't even here, look, food. If you understand what I'm saying. And for that, I am very happy that these are the children we get to teach. Parents, good job. Good job for the parents. All right, everybody, let's all stand. We close in Bhagwat. We're going to lift, we have the final offering. Pandit, come see Purnahuti mantra for me. All right, for anybody who was involved in puja, or you would like to get some blessings, you could touch hand. We're going to make that final offering into the fire. This is not the end of the yag. Tomorrow is Gita. Keep saying it for you. But tonight we're going to close off. You see the 5 kalsa on the bedi. We're going to clear off that, and we're going to put 1 kalash with tomorrow's puja. The purpose of our yag is complete. The Bhagwat is done. But the Gita is where you're saying, let the fasting, let that close too. But that happens tomorrow. So we're going on say we mantra. Before we say we mantra, close your eye. You're not going to miss anything here. Say your prayers. You came to pray, not to look like you're praying. Dear Lord Krishna, I am in need of help. These people have a little offering here to put on this fire in the mantra that says, how you give is so you get. Simple language for children to walk away with. Please, you know what is going on home. You know what's going on with the land, with the court matter, with the doctor, the hospital bill, in the relationship. Prabhu, you know. Sometimes we don't know we business. Everybody else know we business. Dear God, we need you to take control and take charge of our life. If in the course of this yagya, in the course of this Adig Mass, this Shravan Mass that is running, I made any mistakes, I made any poor decisions, my mouth, my brain, my hands broke the tenets of this vrat. Prabhu, I'm asking for forgiveness tonight. Om Bhurabhuvaswa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodaya. Dear Lord, this is the most powerful mantra we have because it is the mantra that says if every time I chant this prayer, 24 hours of sin is burnt away just by 1 repetition. Every time we do puja, we say 3 times, dear God, burn away the sin my mind made, my mouth made, my hands made. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. Forgive me for every transgression. As I make this offering, we conclude this vrat, this prayer, this yagya. Thank you for affording me the opportunity. Those of you at home, pray along. Dear God, may you please allow us to have the blessing and the ashirvad of doing Vishnu's yag in the month of Purushottam Mass. Thank you for this opportunity again and again. Go, Baba. Nothing? Go ahead now, you say it hard.
Hari Om Puranamidha Puranamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya
Adaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om
Sarvamay Purnavam Shanti
Swaha.
Om Papaham Papa Karmaham Papatma Sambhava Radmam Pundarikaksha Sarva Papa Haru Hari. We find the fire. Om Manaspati Rasura Bhutoyo Ghanyu Ghanyu Kamaha Agramana Sarvremanam Rupoyam Pratigrahita. There is one thing that's in. Om Mangalam Bhagwan Vishnu Mangalam Garvatvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalaya Tandu Hari. Pure Sri Vishnu Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Ravan Bihari Lal ki
Jai. All right, so we remain standing as we're going to do closing arti. The basma that will come from the fire, the Shiva Hari as you know it, and Shantipat, everything, that's tomorrow. Please be on time. Those people that want to bring for your Krishna, that's a little piece of advice. The flowers is offered because of the honey and the nectar in the flowers. So I'm bringing it for you. Dear God, take sweet things and give me sweet times, please. If you have flowers in your yard, bring a little thing for him. He might like it. In the morning, we're moving on time and we want to close on time. From 8 to 10:30 for the most. Sajam Jam. Uncle Rani, you sing arti for me? Sajam Jam Varti Sanyuktam Grahina Yojitam Mayam Deepam Grihana Devesham
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है
महिमा के
Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Narayana.
No music now, eh? Om Namo Narayana. Hari. From your heart. Om Namo. Hari. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Prabhu, we put we hand together and do this thing, God. Prabhu, thank you for every grace, for every gift you give me in this life. Sometimes I just be very ungrateful. Sometimes I just condemn the $5 and I just ask for $50. Sometimes I don't see the good in what I have and I look at what I could get or what I could have. Help me to be a little more contented and grateful for all that you do for me. Give me the drishti to see your hand in every accident you saved me from every cold, from every sickness. Remember what COVID was like? For every sickness you let me come back from. For every elder that is still celebrating birthdays. For every anniversary when I could have finished this marriage here and now. And you prolong it, God. You alone know how you do your work. Help me to learn to say thank you. Help me to be so infected with your devotion and your love that I want to share this experience and encourage good things in other people. Help me to be your messenger, to sing your glories, to sing your praise again and again. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for this Yagna. God bless your children and bless their homes. Protect them from crime. Protect them from seen and unseen danger. As we're going to lift that Khalsa tonight. Bless me in the morning when we're chanting and we're jumping and we're celebrating, dear God. We're going to release we mother. We're going to release the Devi that was jumping inside this Yagyashala for the duration of these days. With her energy, Lord Vishnu, you could do anything. And we want to thank her for all. Dear Lord, if we made any mistakes, if we did say or do or act or think something incorrect, forgive we. Together with one voice. Tvameva Chavita Tvameva 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 Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti. One more. Shanti. One more. Shanti. Hari Om. Prem Sabalo Mahapati Mahadeva ki, Pawan Putra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki, Jai Jai. Siddharam. Siddharam everybody. Please have your seat.